Let's go back to Arsenal. First, I want to ask about the Reece Nelson ahead of Martinelli thing.
I think to be fair, Martinelli had played a lot and without much success on the pitch in terms of goals, assists. Even his XG is really low. His non-penalty XG or X-assist per game is something like 0.16. It's really low. I think he could have done with the rest. He rested him. And Reece Nelson, to be fair, played really well. Should have scored very early on, which could have changed the game maybe. And then I thought brought a lot in terms of the pace that he brought in, and he looked confident considering he hadn't played much.
And considering he fluffed that early chance too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can see that with a guy who comes off the bench, starts out, does well, makes a massive screw up, and then all of a sudden the insecurities come in. I mean, to his credit, that didn't happen. No,
And then when Martinelli came on, I thought, okay, maybe Nelson could have had 5 more minutes because I think it was the hour mark. And then Martinelli destroyed Trent twice in a row on that left-hand side for Arsenal. And I'm like, okay. Then I think Klopp, maybe not fully, but changes Trent's position to put him in field, put young Bradley at right back for Liverpool. And then Martinelli never sees the ball again. And I think if I was one of those Arsenal players, especially one of those leaders, I would say like, okay, this is an easy matchup here. Martinelli, even low on confidence like he is, against this kid who's played like 3 games before, I think, coming on every time, or maybe started once in the Europa League and that's it. Just give the ball to Martinelli and let isolate him and go one-on-one, provoke, go at Bradley. And that never happened, really. I was a bit surprised with that. But I think Nelson did well, and Arsenal need other options anyway. So even if it was just a tryout from Arteta and it worked out okay, I think it was right to try it because they need at some point to rest a bit Saka, to rest a bit Martinelli, especially when Martinelli is not doing as well as he did last season.
I don't think Saka had a great game. You seemed to kind of wane as the game went on. I also feel, though, that sometimes he's asked to do a little bit too much, perhaps, or he tries to do a little bit too much. Is that a concern, or was it just more that Liverpool defended well against them?
Yeah, no, I don't know. He had a couple of chances to score. There's that volley in the second half. There's a few things in the first half as well. It's just the way this team is built and the style of this team, it would be a lot of Odegaard to Saka a lot of the time. So the ball goes to Odegaard mostly.
Because he passes in that direction.
No, it's just, but that's his position. He plays on the right-hand side too. So it's easier for him to find Saka than to find whoever is playing as a left winger. It's more difficult. There's more bodies in between. So if Saka doesn't have the success in terms of dribbling or provoking or going 2v1 with White or whoever else, then I think Arsenal, maybe a bit less efficient on that right-hand side. I'm not worried about Saka. His numbers are a little bit down compared to last season, but I still think that he's their best player anyway. So,
all right, you know how I love to be contrarian, and I need to be convinced of facts. There's 2 knee-jerk, insta-pundit reactions that always come out when Arsenal fail to win. One is it's always Jorginho's fault, even when he's on the bench. I don't think people could say this today. Because
he played really well. Him and Rice.
The Jorginho Rice thing worked very, very well. It's interesting, too. That was very much, I thought, a 4-2-3-1. Other times when we've seen Jorginho play, when Havertz was out and it was more 4-1-4-1. And they had Rice was almost alongside Odegaard. I thought this worked well. I thought this gave Odegaard more space in which to work, which I think Odegaard can benefit for because he becomes a little bit less Saka dependent, to go back to what you said before. And you have somebody who's press resistant in Jorginho, who can pass through the press in a way that Declan Rice can't. I'm not criticizing Declan Rice, but he's a very talented player. But, short, intricate passing, give and go, it's not really his game.
Yeah.
And there's no need for him to develop that. It's almost like at this point, if you're Declan Rice, work on your strengths and become even better.
Although I think he's been more press efficient than you're giving him credit for,
Okay.
But